Hey man, we back to back with him, man. It's the Hall of Fame. It's your boy BFBT3. You already know how we coming.
Yeah, it's your boy BFBKT in the building, man.
And it's your boy Roux. Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Let's get it,
Let's
man.
dive into it. Roux, where you get that name from? Where that name come from? That's a very interesting name.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it kind of was a spur of the moment kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
I was trying to change my artist name, and then I just started thinking of stuff, and then I was like, Roux, kind of like Rue the Day, and then I was like, I don't want to spell it like that, and then I was like trying to think of how my music is gonna sound, and then I was like, okay, like Roux, like spelled like ROUX is like a sauce. And then I was like, okay, it's kind of like that saucy substance kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, like Roux. And then that's kind of how it just stuck. And then I started telling people, and people were like, well, that's really sick. And then it just kind of hit. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just keep like that. Like saucy is kind of like how I would describe my music. So it kind of plays together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where you come from? Where were you born? You know, let's talk about you. You feel me?
Get into your upbringing, your childhood.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was born in Colorado.
Okay.
And then I was raised in LA, and then kind of spent some time in Toronto. And I feel like all three places are kind of like obviously I spent an equal amount of time in each spot. Obviously Toronto the less, but they're kind of all a little bit kind of like my hometown. Like I feel like every spot kind of influenced me. As like Colorado, I'm super into nature and stuff like that. So it was like that's all there is out there. So I mean that's why and then I came to LA, and it just showed me like wow, like life could be as big as you want it to be, you know? And
For sure.
it just became like
hell yeah.
and then like that's when like my mind opened up to like music and stuff, and I was like, whoa, like I could do this. And then Toronto was like a spot that like I loved the music that was coming out of Toronto, especially growing up. So I was like, I have to make it out there one day, and then I did. So
So in Toronto, you was fucking with like Drake, Skepta, like all those type of.
yeah, honestly, it was really kind of like, I mean, obviously like the Drake and the Weekends, but it was really like the people they were signing that really had me interested, like Party Next Door and like Nav and stuff like that.
For sure.
Like Black, like all those people. It was just their lyricism, and then once I found out they were writing songs for Drake and stuff, like that's always kind of like what my goal was to be like a ghostwriter, songwriter kind of thing. So it was like, dang, like I just wanted to study him.
Okay.
Honestly, just study him. Like what made Drake want to work with them, and then I was like, whoa, I was like, I know why, because their music's fire. And then like that just kind of what like led me to that. And then obviously, kind of like I was talking about off air was, you know, I didn't want to like take those influences and become them. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of like took like the ideas, and then I just completely kept it like original. And then still, I always found like if I ever were to get on a song with them, it was like, you know, at the time when I started, I was just really good at rapping. So it was like, you know, that was like if The Weeknd hit me up, I didn't want to just like sound like The Weeknd. I wanted to come in and bar the fuck out on one of his songs. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like add that fucking like sauce
that
to
sauce
it.
for sure. So being that you was like you did, I mean, you spent a lot of time in LA, then you moved to Toronto. What type of genre, or how you say, what type of sauce do you feel you have? There we go.
Yeah, I'd say like, I'd say kind of like I don't know like the specific genre, but if I had to say, it'd be like a West Coast like R&B trap soul kind of stuff, to where I like the aggressive, the upbeat kind of stuff. I used to make kind of slower music, but now it's just like I need like a beat that people can either like dance to or like can get them moving. Like I don't want to just be like in the back, just like super like slow beats and just like I like that stuff. And like, you know, I mean, I just did a feature and I murdered it because that's where like I grew up on type thing. But I really like that West Coast, like the drums and
shit,
stuff.
The stuff that's trending.
Yeah, so almost like sexy drill kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like drill music, but with that R&B kind of like smoothness.
Like a booty shake, you know?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. The females like that too, man. Real trying to make that booty shake, man.
Okay, so when did you start rapping, in Colorado or when you moved to LA, or when was like the first time you started into music?
Yeah, so I actually played sports like my whole life, you know, and then it was like I played football, basketball, lacrosse, and soccer. I just kind of played everything.
Oh, you lit, athletic type.
Yeah, I just loved. Yeah, I just hated being like sitting around. So I was like, hey, like let's go hoop or let's go do this, let's go do
right,
that,
brother. That's right.
And then I went to college and then just started seeing my friends make music and stuff, and I was like, hey, like that's kind of cool. Like it's the same kind of like spotlight as sports, but it's like I don't have to like risk like tearing my ACL or something, you know?
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
And then so I'd say about like 18, 19 is when I started like trying to take it more serious. But then in 2019 is when, you know, I started writing songs for people and stuff. So I've been making music for about 5 years now.
That's lit.
But
lit,
like
bro.
officially as Roux, you know, I dropped my first song last month.
Okay, that's lit. That's lit.
So technically, I guess 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, that's lit, man. The music journey is an up and down journey. So, I wanted to ask you: have you faced any challenges or went through any like hardships with this music stuff?
Yeah, I mean, definitely hit a lot of ups and downs. I mean, like that's really like all. My whole career is adversity. Like, you know what I mean? Like every moment that I had to quit. Like, you know, or like I could have quit. I just thought about it. Like, what if this is the moment that if I just beat this one, then I get everything I want? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, going to Toronto, you know, I didn't have any family or friends or anything like that. And like the challenges it was just to stay in the country was just crazy. And then it was like, and then after I moved back, it was like, everyone saw everything I was doing in Toronto, and then to like have to like rebuild that momentum back out here with people that already knew me. It was kind of like a big, obviously last year I lost a lot of family members, like, you know, probably like an unprecedented amount. I probably lost like 5 to 10 people that were super, super close to me last year.
Sorry to hear that, for sure.
And like I haven't really had to deal with that. The close one being my grandma, but it just gave me like this inspiration where like once she passed away, I had to sing at her funeral, and that was crazy.
Shout out grandma, man.
Yeah, but something about that just made it. I felt her presence, and then forever, like I feel like she's always with me. So it's kind of like one of those things that it was like I know it sounds kind of corny, but it was like, you know, every time I face like a moment to quit, it made me just like look in the mirror and realize how much I wanted it, and like this can't all just be for nothing.
Exactly.
You know,
for sure. That resilience to push through at the left. You know,
Gotta do it for
Yeah.
that's good, bro.
Yeah.
That's right, bro. We lost a lot of people too, so like we put it in our songs and everything. We feel like they still with us, you know.
Yeah.
So we be pushing for them too.
Exactly.
So we know how that feel, bro. Real talk.
That's the way to be. I mean, honestly, and then just to have faith that it's like, I don't know, it's like really brought me closer to God, honestly, because it just made me realize that, you know, like
He in control.
everyone's talking about legacy and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know what, like once I pass away, like it's really up to the way I impacted people, but then after the people I impacted, once they're gone, you know what I mean? Then it's basically like, we're just a small blemish. So it's really just about doing everything you love to do. You know what I mean?
For
Like that's
sure.
what life's all about.
For sure.
Yeah.
Real talk, brother. So I wanted to ask you, do you feel like the fact that you went to Toronto and then came back out here, did that help your career? Was that like a little boost or something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was really just working with people that I never expected to work with. It was like, you know, I started working with like some artists that made like just crazy like EDM, like almost they made music to where it was just noises.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like like
something different.
yeah,
drop some
I had this one friend, he made a
names?
song out of like seagull noises, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it actually caught me like off guard. I'm like, whoa, like you're kind of like wasting your time. You know what I mean? Like no one, but it made me realize I was like, music is just all about doing something different that no one's ever heard, and like being that creative to make seagulls and make a beat out of it. And I'm like, okay, like I don't want that beat, but like I definitely respect that. Like
Respect
you could
the
make
hustle.
that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
And then
sure,
it just
for
kind of
sure.
like opened up my mind to like, okay, like people are only gonna love what you love.
For sure.
So it's like that's what I realized with Roux is like, you know, I started putting I stopped thinking so much about like what I'm saying. It's like Future and stuff. You know, sometimes Future's good to like say like a super funny line or something.
For sure, Future hilarious.
Yeah, and then people just like, oh, like that's such a weird line. I'm like, bro, like he's just having fun. Like
Yeah,
it's like
he
that's
just
the
being
point.
him.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I feel like I used to overthink everything, and like I'd have the hardest bars, and I had to do this, that, and it just made
Perfectionist type shit.
it just made it not fun.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
So it's like keeping it fresh.
Yeah, I know how that shit goes. Like that's how I be. I'm kind of a perfectionist too. I had my brother really pushing me to get out of that too. So I know what you're talking about on that aspect. So I wanted to ask you too as well, like with the rapping stuff, with the music stuff. Have you had any like big features or any big shows?
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I haven't released my features that are pretty big yet, but they're coming out. I mean, like definitely, I'm kind of doing like one song a month. So I actually just dropped a song tonight, which is actually crazy that it just lined up perfect with the podcast. It's called Anything Goes.
Anything? Y'all go tap into Anything Goes.
Right now.
You on all plats or where can we get that at?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, all platforms. But to answer your question though, I have a lot of my features, which the first one's gonna drop actually next month. It's called Live Without Me, and but I'm like working with I have this one Afrobeat artist that hit me up. He heard my first song. It's called Whoa, and then his name's Shamar. And I was checking him out, and like I think he dropped his last music video. It got like over like 400,000 like streams on his music video. And then he hit me up and was like, "Hey, bro, like I really fuck with your sound." And I was like, "How did you see my shit?" And then it just kind of became like one of those things. He's like, "Bro, like make the beat, put your verse on it, send me the track." And I was like, "Bet."
For sure.
Yeah.
For
So
sure. Hell
I mean, that was kind of cool because I haven't really
lit.
made Afrobeat kind of music, so it kind of like. But because like you know, I've done songwriting for a lot of different genres, like it's like super exciting to work on something like that because it's the dancey stuff, and then I can bring my sauce, and he can bring the authentic. You know what I mean? So it's cool. It's cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's lit, bro. Afrobeat shit is very lit.
Yeah, and then as far as the shows, in August I opened up for Young Blue.
What?
Yeah, and then
that's lit.
And then
that's big for sure.
And then my I have this business partner. His name's Unique, and then he has just been booking shows like crazy. And then and then actually on Wednesday we're open up for DJ Quick.
Okay, that's lit. That's
at
lit.
the Garden Amphitheater.
That's lit. So you was talking about like your manager or like your friend or whatever. Like,
yeah.
So that's like the business aspect of rapping. Can you kind of break down how that be working and how that go?
Yeah, exactly. I've known Neek for about 6-7 years now, and we both like had our own companies. You know, I had my writing company called Most Dangerous Music, and then he had his called Independent Visions, and then like you know. And then he kind of approached me. Was like, "Hey, like, do you want to just be a part of Independent Visions?" And I was like, "Well, I kind of got my own thing going," but then I realized that my own thing can still go
for sure.
So then I just kind of like was like, like I'm Independent Visions, and then it just became like where like you know after I went to Toronto, you know, he really still stuck by my side, even though he didn't know if I was gonna come back. He didn't know like what the benefit was for him, but it was like you know as a friend. He just like stuck by my side and knew that like when I came back, we were really gonna get things cracking. And then like I had a hard time finding a job, and then like you know he got me a job and just showed me like bro like I believe in you. We gotta get this like
real nigga.
And then he's crazy. He does like dancing. He's just a very versatile dude, acting, all this stuff. So it's kind of like we both kind of do things separate. But like we come together and like when we come together and like come up with ideas and stuff, it's like really cool. It's really cool to have somebody that like feels like a brother, that feels like whatever I do, he has my back. Whatever he does, I have his back, and we don't really have to question each other. But when someone does question someone, it's like there's a reason. So it's like we just take each other serious. Like we know, like it depends on both of us to be on the same page for this.
Yeah, it's like
thing
a
to work.
partnership.
Exactly.
For sure. That's lit because a lot of people be saying like they little arrangements be kind of different. So that's good to hear that it's still some solid things going on out there.
Yeah, exactly.
What you said his name was again?
His name's Unique.
Shout out Unique, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Shout out Unique, bro.
Man. That's lit.
As far as songwriting, how does songwriting is for you? Like, because I know for me, if I was to write somebody's song and have to give my bars out and give my actual talent out, it would probably be a problem for me, you know? So can you break that down, that process, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, for me, because, like, you know, I I also write my own like comic books. Like I'm an author, so because of that, I love to share my writing. But to start, it was such a process, bro. It was like so hard for me to not write my style for somebody. Like that became like
Yeah,
a
like 'cause
huge
how
problem.
do you not write your best
That's
work,
lit.
you know,
Yeah.
for somebody
Cause
else?
for
you
real, I
know?
wouldn't be, man.
Well, it's like one, if they're not paying right, they ain't gonna get the best work. You know
For
what I
sure,
mean?
most
But then
definitely.
it's like I would say it became like I just started asking them like I just came up with my own questionnaire thing. I was like, okay, like what is important to deliver in the song? Like what is your message? Like what is this? And I felt like I wasn't writing my bars. I was writing like their story for them.
That's lit.
And then like that's what made it easier for me to like separate myself from their music.
Yeah.
And then it became really fun to when like, you know, I would record them the demos and stuff just so they can have an idea on like my full vision. Cause it's like, if it's my song, you know what I mean? Like, let me show you what I think it would sound. And then hearing them sing it, it just became really rewarding. It was like, okay, that's dope. Because then you hear, you're like, then even if you do keep it kind of your style, then you hear someone else doing it. And it's like, wow, like that brings more attention to your style without you even really noticing it. Because it's like, if someone's like, wow, that sounds like that sounds exactly like Roux's flow.
Sure.
Then it's like, oh, and then they look up the credits, like, oh, that is Roux. And then it's just like this whole thing where it's like right back to you. And then it's just more publicity without it being you, like the face of it. Cause it's like, if someone's like always hearing Roux this, Roux that, that's Roux, that's this. But then if they see someone else singing a Roux song, then it becomes like, whoa, like, I don't know. I just like people accept it even more than they do if it was just you.
Exactly. It's like some weird way of the algorithm working. Like
super weird. Like I don't get it. It doesn't make
like
sense to me, but that's just what I've noticed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So now that you put your own music out, do you still write songs for other people?
Yeah. And like I'm kind of in like a transition period to where, you know, I recently wrote a song for someone and it was crazy. I was just like 2 turn off of some tequila, and then I heard this beat, and it was just like raging. And for some reason, I was just pissed. I heard this line talking about like light skin this, light skin that, or something, and I just went in and I just freestyle because like I don't really freestyle like the best bars all the time, but I really go in for like melodies and like help me to come up with my melodies. Because sometimes if I feel like I'm writing, I get like I box myself into like how crazy my flows can get, so I just freestyle, and then sometimes it comes out, and like this happened to be one of those songs that came out because I was drunk and I didn't care what I was saying, and I just started like barring out on a couple people, not gonna lie, and then someone like really like related to like the message, and he's like, "Dude, can I have that song?"
For real.
I was like, "Please take it," because it's like. I wasn't planning on dropping it anyway. It was just one of those things that I just wanted to talk my shit, you know?
That's lit.
So then it just became like kind of like really fun to do both. Like to write my music, because like as Roux, it's a lot more, I don't want to say positive, but like, you know what I mean? It's a lot more like upbeat, like fun stuff, that it's like I can bar out too. And it's just one of those things that it was like, it was cool because it didn't really fit with like the kind of music that I'm dropping.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to drop, and it was cool. Someone was like, hey,
Still
like
dropping it.
yeah. So I think that song is called Rumors, and it's by Toomey. So shout out to me.
Shout out to
But yeah, that song should come out early next year, so I'm excited for that.
That's lit, bro.
Yeah.
That's lit, man. Shit. So you said you did a show with Young Blue, and shit. How was that? Did you?
Yeah,
know?
it was sick. It was sick. I mean, he was super cool, and like, also the show for Jacquees.
What?
Yeah,
That's lit. Boy. That's his boy right there. Don't say Jacquees.
Man.
Yeah.
Shout out Jacquees, man.
And but yeah, I mean, like that night, I'm gonna be honest, was kind of like a really hectic night for me. So I mean, I wasn't completely like, I don't want to say I didn't want to be there at the Young Blue show, but it was like one of those things that I was really showing up just to perform the tracks I was on, and then I kind of just like said hi to everyone and then just dipped out. Just because I had some personal stuff, and then on my way to the venue, this was the craziest thing that ever happened to me. I'm just minding my business, right? And there was this this high speed car chase, right? It was in Santa Ana, and there was like this like right down the main street. There's this van, and it was driving pretty fast. And I'm like, okay, like random. What? And then I just see like at least 4 to 6 cop cars like chasing it, and then the cop literally hit the van into a building right across the street from me. And like I'm just sitting there, just like standing there, like I'm just trying to get to the show, and it was just like epic. And I'm just like, man, that's my night. Like I'm just trying to like, why am I here? Like that's all I kept thinking. I'm like, dude, this is hectic, bro.
Damn.
So
that's crazy.
But overall, though, I mean, the vibes were cool. I mean, the one thing about my group, Independent Visions, is like whenever we do a show, not saying that we bring the biggest crowd, but it does feel like sometimes like we bring like 70, 80 people to every show. So then it's like once we're done performing, just seeing like the masses leave, it's like kind of felt, kind of felt for Young Blue, bro, because I felt like, his music's cool. I feel like it's tough in Orange County with like any type of hip hop though. Like I'm gonna be so honest, Orange County they really just want their EDM stuff. They just want the I don't know, Orange County, like y'all gotta step up when it comes to hip hop because y'all missing out on a cool scene. But
yeah, I heard them Orange County step y'all game up, man.
Yeah, for real.
That's lit, bro.
Yeah,
that's cool though, man.
I'm excited to start doing some shows in like LA more often because like the coolest show I've ever done was a while ago, but I opened up for Joe Budden in like 2016. Like this was before I really started like releasing my music. Okay. Like this was just like I don't even know how this promoter booked me on this show. Like I told him, I'm like, I've never even been on stage before. They're like, hey, well, it's all good. Like you're here now, just sell your tickets and you can get on stage. My phone died on stage.
Damn.
Like I didn't have a DJ, so it was like I just started just like freestyling like my song, and then that's what saved it. No one was fucking with my music at the start because I was like 18, like probably only worked on music for 4 months, and it was like SoundCloud, like that kind of era,
type shit.
And then because like my phone died, and I just like adversity, right? Like my music stopped playing. Everyone's like, oh, he's probably gonna walk off stage and quit and stuff. And like, no.
But you proved them wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. That's right, bro. I'm supposed to stand tall. Being an artist and stuff, like we just talked about, I know it's hard, and then there's a lot of good stuff that happened too. Do you have any tips for any upcoming rappers or upcoming songwriters?
Yeah, definitely. Like the only way that you're gonna get better is by doing it, and really don't let when someone has something negative to say about your music, you gotta hear it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta really like take it into consideration. That doesn't mean that they're right though. You know what I mean? Like that's like the best part I learned is like, I used to let everyone kind of influence how I felt about my music. And then it was like, it took like someone who just had no idea about music to be like, hey, like, I don't really like this song. And I'm like, okay, bet. And then I showed another person like, dude, this one is like your my favorite songs from you. And then I just kept showing more and more people. And then I just always realized that everyone had something different to say about it.
For sure.
So it's just like, my only tip is that no one's going to know you're a songwriter unless you tell them. And so then like, I struggled with like, I can't get clients. And it's like, well, who knows that you write songs? I'm like, well, I mean, like, no, like no one knew. So like, you just have to go and like literally like every studio I'm in, hey, like if you ever need a song, just let me know. And then, and then I started running into, okay, like maybe it's not like, I know rappers and stuff, like predominantly they write their own stuff. Yeah. So then it was like, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong room. Like maybe I need to go to like a pop artist room, or I need to go to like a country artist room or something to just like where like
expand.
Yeah, like hey, like let me add a little bit of swag to your music.
Real talk.
And then so like someone from my community might like really love your music. And then I did that with this Persian artist, he like usually sings like in his native tongue, and he wanted to start writing music in English. And I was like, dude, you got like, he was trying to make like folk R&B. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was kind of different.
Different though, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, like, why don't you like let me write your songs? And it was an experience that I never thought I'd do, because he was very like particular in the way he wanted it. And it's like a lot of this
hard though,
like the slang and stuff that I normally like he wasn't about. So I'm like, okay, so it challenged me. And then just like I challenged him to be like, okay, but you can't just do what you always do.
Exactly.
And then just always speak up. Like, you know what I mean? If you there's nothing wrong with having your own opinion, and there's nothing wrong with someone else having their own opinion. That's the thing about America that people always kind of forget, is that it's like we live in a place where like you're supposed to disagree and it be okay. You know what I mean? So it's like, especially with music, everyone's gonna have something to say. Oh, bro, like you're rapping too hard, or you're cussing too much, or you're not cussing enough, or it's always something. So it's like I can't make everyone happy. So as long as I'm happy with my music,
I'm good.
That's all that matters, bro. Like the streams and all that stuff, it matters in the sense of if you want a specific type of opportunity. But I think like when it comes down to it, anyone can tell real from fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much fake that just if you're just a little bit real, that's it.
That's it for sure.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. That's dope, man. Shit, man. Let them know anything you got coming up next. Any upcoming projects.
Any merch you got coming up or anything like that?
Yeah, so the merchandise is gonna be solidified by January. So like I have some prototypes and stuff in the vault. I'm just really trying to give something good that makes sense, because like I did some polls. People, I was like, do you want hats? Because like I had this Roux hat that everyone keeps talking about, and then I got like hoodies and stuff, and everyone gave me like 3 different like they're like, oh, I want hats, I want hoodies, I want shirts. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm probably gonna drop, like with my songs, I'll probably have exclusive merch for each song I drop that month. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer to really solidify like what I want to drop. But yeah, I mean, I just dropped Anything Goes. The music video should be out probably in a week or 2. So and then yeah, I mean, like definitely just check out my stuff. I dropped Whoa last month. It got over 5,000 streams on Spotify already, so that's pretty tight. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I wasn't expecting that kind of love. You know what I mean?
But for sure. Hell yeah.
It's tight. The first song got some love, so let's make the second song get 10. You know?
For sure. Man, you heard that, man. Y'all go stream my boy, man. Yeah. Shout out Roux, man. Shit, let them know your Instagram, man, and all that, man.
So my Instagram is Roux__music. So once again, like ROUX__music. And then that's the same thing for TikTok, you know, YouTube, whatever. Just look up Roux, and like as I say, like keep it light, keep it saucy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Just like it's really all about like what you want life to be like, and just
for sure.
It doesn't matter like what adversity you face, you know what I mean? Like all of us up here probably like, this is just my story. If I heard their stories, like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be the same. It'd be just adversity, and it'd be like passion for what we do. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like find your passion and just go through it. You know?
Sir. For sure. Hey, man, y'all heard it on the Hall of Fame, man. It's your boy, BFBT3.
BFBKT.
And we got my boy,
Roux.
Hey, man, it's another banger, man. Y'all stay tuned, man.